was in portrait, but I was on Facebook, so...
When I go back on Sunday, the A303 is closed.
Oh, that's not very good.
That's all I have to go motorway then. Then that's the other way.
Unless you go down towards Southampton.
Oh, along the coast.
Okay, we're back on Facebook. First corner, windy corner. So named because?
I have no idea.
It's windy.
What I'm about it is. One of them used to be called Rabbit Corner, but I don't know which one.
Depot Curve. Poppy corner, so called because?
There's poppies?
No. Yeah, there is. Well, there was. Sometimes is.
Just no English sponsorship.
Okay, so lots of challenging questions for Mr. Matt, the tram driver, please. Chuck them in the chat. See what we can get to. Chris says, "Good morning, Josh." Good morning, Chris. Leeds Bridge, so called because?
The ironwork came from the old Leeds Tramway.
It is, yeah. Of course, that doesn't technically exist anymore, so it's only its namesake. How's Gareth? Gareth has technically retired, bless him. He is still a volunteer at the Tramway, so we do see him every now and again. I'm stuck with Matt now, though.
Sorry about that.
Weird. Matt, how long have you been driving with us now?
I have been at the Tramway now for just over 2 years.
2 years. So, do you think you've picked up enough
I'm getting there.
tramway knowledge?
Yeah, getting there.
Right, so he reckons after 2 years he's got a lot of tramway knowledge. So let's see. Test him in the comments then. So we've got number 6, which doesn't come out that often, so it's quite nice to see number 6 in front of number 11, probably our most popular tram. Good morning, John. How are we doing?
Good morning.
Morning, Noel.
This is Riverside Walk. This is the first of our 3 intermediate stops on our journey today. It's also the home of the Tramway, so just behind us we've got our tram depot. That's where we keep up the tram here in the fleet at Seaton. We've got 14 in total, 13 passenger trams and 1 works tram. We've got a variety of trams where you can actually see just to our right. 2 trams here, both double deckers, but you can see the green one is a lot smaller on the furlong. It's tram number 6, it was originally built when the tramway was based in Eastbourne, and when the track gate there was 2 foot. When the tramway moved from Eastbourne to the current site here at Seaton, the opportunity was taken to extend to widen the gauge from 2 foot to 2 foot 9, and subsequently any trams that were built after the move to Seaton, the bigger trams were able to be moved. Right, we're going to continue on north now. Next stop will be the Seaton Wetlands Walk. On our left we've got the wetlands, which runs all the way parallel with us up to Colyton. We've got the river Axe over on the right hand side for about the next 3 miles.
stuff. How's your memory, Matt? How long did it take you to learn that stuff?
You just pick it. You pick it up. Pick it up, and as part of your training, you get given lots of information about the history of the tramway. And so I've always had an interest in the tramway as well. So I've ridden it for many years before I became a driver. Just sort of general interest.
Oh, they can see us on the rail cam. When's the boat tram coming out? Well, typically it'll come out during the school holidays, specifically for Pirate Tram. And then whenever, usually if Noel or Dingle are on inspecting, and it's a nice day, it's quite likely to come out then as well. So if you want to share this live into any specific groups, share it onto your own page. See how far we can reach. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Chris asks, which is your favourite trams? Matt, you first.
Mine, tram number 12.
Number 12.
Number 12. It's a big, slow, loud machine, and I love it.
Mine, I always say number 4. If you go for the history of all of the trams, technically my favourite is number 12, but in its original form, when it was a single decker. It's nice, like British
doors.
Green, had the bus doors, yeah. Looked very smart, it did.
Have you got a least favourite?
Have I got a least favourite?
Got a least favourite. Everyone else was.
Number 12 now.
Is it? That's your least favourite?
It is both my all-time favourite and my least favourite, number 12. My favourite to drive is probably number 4 again.
Yeah.
I do like driving number 19.
We've got very opposite views on the trams.
Yeah, we do.
19 is my least favourite.
When I first joined the tramway, 19 was a lot of drivers' least favourite to drive, typically because it's a short wheelbase and it throws its cab out, as it were.
Yeah. You're tall as well, like me. You can't stand up driving. You sort of got because you've got the that sort of frosted bit of glass that keeps on the eye line. Do you not find that?
No, I like driving 19 for that reason, because if you compare it to something like 15, where you are definitely hunched over.
Oh yeah, that's I like that one. That's a nice one to drive.
Angela says my favourite tram is number 11, the pink tram.
Number
yes,
11.
Yeah, quite a lot of people's favourite, that one. So we did have some nice blue skies earlier this morning, and they seem to be coming back out again. So we're coming up to one of the old sheds, which is where there's a robin down there. This is the perfect part for bird watching trams, which go throughout the year. It's not just gulls along the valley, although they are the most common. We've got all sorts, especially over on the left. Chris asks, which trams pick up speed quickly, or are they all the same? Can't get my words out.
15 is by far the quickest.
Yeah.
And 12 is by far the slowest.
12 is
12 or 4? No, 12 I think.
4 empty. If you drive it correctly to get to speed, you could get to speed quite quickly.
Yeah, 12 is definitely like notch 1 on tram 12. Basically doesn't do anything.
No.
That's why I love it, because you have to drive.
You do have to know each tram you're driving.
And it's got air brakes as well, and I think that's why I like 12 and 14, because I'm used to driving straight with air brakes.
Yeah. So we just went over Bobsworth Bridge. Why is it called Bobsworth Bridge, Matt?
Because when the tramway first opened up, that's as far as the tramway went, and it cost a bob.
A bob, yeah, shilling a bob. So we're coming up to the Wetlands Halt, formerly known as the Swan's Nest Loop, transformed into a halt in 2022. Now the fun fact is that although Riverside Halt technically was built 2 years before it, they actually opened on the same day. And that's all COVID's fault.
COVID's got a lot to answer.
It does. There we go. No, they haven't come down. It's alright.
Well, this is the we'll continue on. The next stop will be Colyton. Hey Pete, you too.
There's a swan, yeah.
Here.
No luck catching them swans, eh?
Just the one swan.
How long is tram 9, 10, 11?
Oh,
It's a great question.
don't know, but I know that tram 12 is like about, sure it's only like a foot longer.
Okay.
I'm sure Mike told me that 12's the longest, but it's only by like a foot.
See, I always feel like 15's the longest, but maybe that's
Maybe it
wrong.
looks longer because it's not
It's
as
just,
tall.
yeah, that's true.
But if Mike says 12's the longest, 12's definitely the
There you
longest.
go.
19 must be the widest though.
19's the widest, and it's specifically as wide as we can possibly be on the tramway.
Yeah.
And I believe, and someone will probably correct me, but I believe if it was any longer, it could not be as wide.
Oh right. Okay.
Due to, I think, some of the corners, a couple of the corners.
Right. 19's unique as well because on the trucks, am I right in saying that the smaller wheel on the outside wheel, isn't it?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know that.
If you look at it, the smaller wheels are on the outside. I'm pretty sure. Whereas on the other saloons, well, not 15, because I think it's got the same. That's got the same size wheel. I think. But certainly on like 14 and 16, the smaller wheels on the inside. I think.
So Chris is doing quite well with the questions. Any questions from anybody else?
No, Mr. Norsworthy. Oh, he's working actually, I think.
not sure he'd get away with putting a phone in his cab whilst he drives.
Probably not.
This is my favourite part of the trip.
Well, we get the click, 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 click.
Because of the shorter track lengths, you get that speedier. No, Chris, ask more. Yeah, because of the short track lengths, you get a sort of speedier sound
Without going speedy.
without going speedy. So I suppose it sounds more like a conventional like mainline
Yeah.
railway.
Click, 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 click. Or when you go all around Scotland, it's sort of like Highlands. That's the there's lots of jointed traffic.
Yeah.
And that sounds. A 156 travelling along that towards over.
And I suppose you don't get it as much anymore because they've welded most of them all.
What about the branch line where I am, Watford, the Abbey line? That's jointed.
Is it a slower line?
Yeah, I don't know what's
That'll be about 3, isn't it?
It's nice. So literally, if I want jointed track, I just go down the road and pick it. And of course, Rice Road. I suppose we better stop at that big stop sign.
Typically, yeah, it's a good decision.
Good for the best. This is Colyton, folks. This is the last of our 3 intermediate stops on the tramway. Just the point where we leave Yax Valley. So we're going to be crossing over the road now. This is the A305 to it links Lyme Regis and Exeter. And then once we crossed over the road, on the bank to Colyton. Colyton's the final stop. Yeah. No, the next stop. No, this is Colyton Ford. And then you go next one Colyton. Right, let's set the crossing. See how many cars we can hold up. Looks like we'll be holding no cars up there.
No. Does it happen often?
Well, not to me. I don't usually. I usually like to hold everyone up.
Chris asks, do the trams handle wet tracks well when it rains? Do they wheel slip? We don't really go fast enough. We don't need as much. We don't need as.
Almost standing start somehow.
Yeah, especially if you're on a little bit of a hill, like if you're trying to get up Riverside Depot. Checking if they're going to jump behind you.
No, I thought that was a person who's going to the hotel room today.
Oh, right.
I recognise the reg. Onwards to Colyton.
Oh, there we go, back again.
That's the dead section.
Yeah. That alarm reminds me of my college fire alarm. It is quite alarming, isn't it? Carl asks, how do points change? It depends on the point. Typically, all points are set, preset. So we're always trying to go to the left of the points into the loops. and most of them are sprung anyway, so you're always going to push through them as you come out. We do have some weighted points, and what's the other one?
I wasn't listening. What did you say?
Weighted points, sprung points.
Weighted points, sprung points. Just the
Manual ones, yeah. Pull the lever, Grom. Pull the lever! Why do we even have that lever? So, typically, Matt, once you start your shift,
Yeah.
are you gonna be passing the same trams in the same places all day?
No. So after lunch, you swap to another tram. So this is my last trip on 10 today, and then I've got lunch next, which I shall be having coronation chicken on white bread.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed. But after lunch, I'll be on tram number 9, which is basically one of these, just with doors on. It's always nice when you get the one of the shifts where you'll get, like, for example, we're passing tram 8 here, where you get a shift where you don't have one of the wheelchair trams on. You're more likely to get one of the Eastbourne trams. So Pete, who's driving this one's got tram 8 now, and then later on he'll have tram number 6, which is basically just a mini version of 8, but it's a very different tram.
No, I haven't seen the buzzard in a while, actually. Have you seen the buzzard?
I wouldn't know what one looked like.
Oh, okay. Steve's asking, how does the system, the section work between Seaton and Riverside? As you often have more than one tram in the section. So that's what the token for. That's what the token's for, basically. If we know we want to put more than one tram into the section, then we make sure to leave the staff token behind for the second tram to follow into the system. But it's just there to ensure that somebody can't enter the system from the other direction, because there is no line of sight. And although we do have radios, it is sort of the safest way to ensure it just doesn't happen. Toot toot, toot toot. Here we go, we're going to go through a preset point. We know it's going to push us to the left. And then what will happen here is that to make sure that he knows the trolley is following him, he's going to look behind him. I'm just going to look up here for you so you can see that the trolley is following this correct overhead line. And then here we are at tram stop at Colyton.
This is my idea.
Andy asks, hi Josh and Matt, is 6 out today and how come that?
Is that Andy?
It is,
Oh.
and 7 are smaller than 8 and they have the same design. Hang on a minute, let me reread that. Hi Josh and Matt,
Aren't you meant to be driving a bus, Andy?
is 6 out today and how come that 7 Oh, how come that and 7? Oh, that and 7 are smaller than 8, and they have the same design. They're based off the same design, but they were built separately, so they weren't a bit like 9, 10, 11 were basically built at the same time, or the chassis was at least.
Here we are. This is Colyton. This is the end of the line. I hope you all enjoyed that. If you are talking about that seat, we've got travellers in the car to come in. 20 hour, 20 cars and 22. Last time today, got the private door. And the platform got the shop, restaurants and service. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day. I'm next to the bike. Thank you very much. No problem.
Okay, so we are going to be live again, but this time we're going to go on TikTok. So those of you on TikTok, we'll be live on the Tramway account on TikTok at around 1:40 for a bit of a driver's eye view. But this time we'll be on number 9. Number 9. So thanks for joining us. Any comments, leave in the chat. We'll get to them when we can, and we'll see you next time.